So I attended the Kamala Harris Rally in Madison, Wisconsin. It was truly fascinating and impressive because for me, one reason these rallies are iconic in the US is that, unlike in Korea, it's not just the popular vote. You don't just go to a big city and have the results determined. Instead, you visit each state and each state has its own voice. And Wisconsin is a swing state, so I was very excited to attend my first rally in the US, and the energy and enthusiasm in the hall were crazy. And it was so captivating that in the moments, especially when the Vice President Kamala Harris appeared, I thought you could even find yourself believing everything being said given the crowd's cheering and the overwhelming support, even if it doesn't entirely align with your views.
I don't know if that's for everybody. I think it was supposed to be everybody.
Supporters. Today, Trump supporters are anything but silent. They wear their Chinese-made MAGA hats and their MAGA shirts and their MAGA buttons and their MAGA underwear. Whatever Donald Trump will sell them, they will buy. And they are being recorded loudly in the polls. But this is true, folks. We are the silent majority this time. People know how awful some in MAGA can be.
Please welcome singer-songwriter Remi, Wisconsin.
My name is Remi Wolf, and I am so incredibly honored to be here. So crazy to me. As a musician, I travel around the country playing music in cities just like this one. And like me, she's a girl from the Bay Area who loves to laugh and have fun. Wisconsin, this election is unlike any other, so I urge you to go out and vote. I urge you to vote early by the 3rd or make a plan for election day. Drop your ballots off and bring your family and friends to the polls because your vote in this election is so crucial in deciding the future of our freedom in this country. Yellow, a wheel rains by the afternoon.
Please welcome your former Lieutenant Governor, Mandela Barnes.
You, as an individual, are an impact, and somebody you love, somebody you care about, somebody you know will be deeply impacted by another Donald Trump presidency. And I, for one, am not willing to let that stand. Now, as inspired as I am by the idea of a Kamala Harris presidency, the thing that keeps me motivated, the thing that gets me excited more than anything you could imagine, is quite honestly you all. It's the energy of the people in this room today. She's concerned with our freedom. She's concerned with our future, and we have to show up and vote with that same concern. And if there's one thing I can leave you all with today, is that I want you to remember that you are the catalyst for a brighter future for us all. You are the key to a better tomorrow.
Madison, Wisconsin, I need you to welcome from the Grammy Award-winning band, The National, it's Matt Berninger and Aaron Dessner!
Please welcome your governor, Tony Evers.
Hello, Madison. Hello, University of Wisconsin. How are you tonight? I want people to keep their quality, affordable health care, including people under the age of 26. Climate change is a threat to our Wisconsin way of life. I want elected officials who take this crisis seriously. And I want to leave my kids and grandkids with more rights and freedoms, a better world, and a better future than what we inherited.
Madison, Wisconsin, I need you to put your hands together and welcome, make some noise for Gracie Abrams!
Hello, Wisconsin! Hey, Badgers. Look at all of you. Wow, look at this gorgeous night. Casey and Elle and I are just so grateful to be here with all of you. And I know everybody who has been on stage tonight and who will be on stage tonight wouldn't be anywhere else for anyone else except for you and for the next president of the United States, the amazing and compassionate and brilliant Kamala Harris. For many of us here on stage and in this crowd tonight, this is either the first or second time that we've had the privilege of voting in a presidential election. And as we know, we've inherited a world that is struggling, and it's easy to feel disconnected and disillusioned. Between the advent of social media in our childhoods, and COVID, and relentlessly targeted disinformation, we've been through some things. And it's easy to be discouraged. But we know better. We know that unless we vote and keep our democracy intact, there is nothing we will be able to do to fix it when it is our turn. And I'm here tonight, as I know so many of you are, because we each have something deeply meaningful to contribute. We have values and ideas that deserve a platform. We know that a better, greener, more fair, equitable, and just future is possible.
We understand that community matters, that character matters, that basic decency matters, that dignity matters, that democracy matters. And the truth is, our participation and our vote have never been more crucial. We are all here tonight because Kamala Harris has spent her life championing the values and issues that we care about. She is the right leader at a very tricky time, and we could not be luckier.
I need you to get on your feet. I need you to make some noise and welcome Grammy Award-winning Mumford and Sons.
And you guys all know this, but that candidate is Kamala Harris. And as I'm sure many of you know, early voting is strong in this Wisconsin. And it's super, super easy to join your friend, Vice President Kamala Harris.
At the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And so for a time, my sister Maya and I lived not far from here in a house on Lake Mendota. So it's good to be back, and it is good to be with so many incredible leaders. And I first of all want to thank everybody who is here right now for taking the time you have taken to be here. I also want to thank our governor because we have 6 days left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime, and we have work to do. But we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. because when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we know we have an opportunity hey, you know what? Listen, we all want the war in Gaza to end and get the hostages out. To turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other. That is who he is, but Madison, that is not who we are. And folks are exhausted and want it to stop the pointing fingers. It is time that we start locking arms together as a people who rise together. And it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States. And Wisconsin, you know me. I'm not afraid of tough fights. For decades as a prosecutor and a top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, I won fights. Against the big banks that ripped off homeowners, against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students, against predators who abused women and children, against cartels that trafficked in guns and drugs and human beings. And Wisconsin, if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf as president, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way of fighting for you. Your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. And in less than 90 days, it's either going to be him or me in the Oval Office. It's not going to happen, but if he were elected, on day one, Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. You know, he talks about the enemies from within. When I am elected, I will walk in with a to-do list focused on your living. That will be my focus every single day as president. I will give a middle-class tax cut to over 100 million Americans. We will enact the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on groceries. We will fight to make sure hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live. And if any of you out there are caring for an elderly parent, well, my plan will cover the cost of home care under Medicare, so that seniors can get the help and care they need to stay in their own homes. It's about dignity. It's about dignity. I love our small businesses. My plan will lower health care costs because, by the way, I believe access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege. On the other hand, Donald Trump's answer to the financial pressures you face, well, it's the same as it was last time. Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations. Right. And this time, he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported. Clothes, food, toys, cell phones. A Trump sales tax would cost the average American family nearly $4,000 more a year. And on top of that, you would pay even more if Donald Trump finally gets his way and gets rid of the Affordable Care Act. Remember how many times he's tried to do that? And you're booing because if he were successful, it would throw millions of Americans off of their health insurance and take us back to when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was like? Well, we are not going back. Just like Wisconsin's state motto tells us, we will move forward. Because ours is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. Freedom. Like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own. Elected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. They did as he intended, and now in America, 1 in 3 women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest, which is immoral. Immoral. And look, Donald Trump's not done. He would ban abortion nationwide. Yes, even here in Wisconsin. And he would restrict access to birth control, put IVF treatments at risk, and force states, listen to this, force states to monitor women's pregnancies. Just Google Project 2025. Read the plans yourself, and I know we all here know, one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government shouldn't be telling her what to do with her body. And when Congress, together with Tammy's help, when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. Your vote. And here is my pledge to you. As President I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. And I pledge to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make, and to people who disagree with me. Because look, unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at my table. Above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. So it all comes down to this. We are here together for many reasons, but one of the most important, we are here together because we love our country. We love our country. We love our country. And when you love something, you fight for it. And I do believe that one is to fight for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America. I have always believed in our nation's promise because I have lived it. I grew up as a child of the Civil Rights Movement. My parents would take me to the marches when I was in a stroller, where people from every walk of life came together to fight for freedom and for opportunity. Growing up, I saw how hard my mother worked to give her daughters the same chances our country gave her. And I was blessed to have family by blood and family by love who instilled in me the values of community and compassion and faith. I've spent my life fighting for people who have been hurt or who have been counted out, but who never stop believing that in our country anything is possible. I have lived the promise of America. All of you, everyone here, I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom. And the men who support them. I see it in Republicans who never voted for a Democrat before, but put the Constitution of the United States over party. And every day I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are voting for the first time. Are leading the charge to protect our planet and our future. You who grew up with active shooter drills are fighting to keep our schools safe. rights than your mothers and grandmothers are standing up for freedom. And what I know about you is these issues are not theoretical. This is not political for you. This is your lived experience. And I see you, and I see your power. I see your power, and I am so proud of you. Can we hear it for our first-time voters? So, Wisconsin, okay, we got 6 days to get this thing done. And no one can sit on the sidelines. So let's spend the next 6 days so that when we look backward after the 6th day, we will know we did everything we could, okay? So now is the time to knock on doors, to text, to call, to reach out to family and friends and classmates and co-workers and neighbors. And as we do, here's my request. As we do all of that, let's be intentional about building community. And let's be intentional about building coalitions. Let's remember that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And let's approach this. Let's approach this with that spirit. And with the spirit of in the face of a stranger seeing a neighbor. Let's do it that way, okay? Let's do it that way. And let us remember that your vote is your voice and your voice is your power.
After the rally, I was fortunate to interview someone. Of course, this person's views don't represent everyone's, but I respect the interviewee for speaking up, and I was curious about this person's perspective. I asked 2 questions. First, what do you think is the biggest challenge the US is facing right now? And second, do you feel that your views were accurately represented during the rally? I think these are fair questions that could be asked of anyone, regardless of their position on the political spectrum. So here we go.
Let me think about it. So your questions are, what is the most pressing concern of this nation right now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And then, were my views accurately expressed?
Yes.
Sure.
Do you mind?
All right, so obviously the most pressing problem that America has right now is becoming Nazi Germany and having a dictator run this country, or be in power and have any chance of somebody trying to stop him. So that's why we got to vote for Kamala Harris for one. I've never been a big political supporter. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Like, this isn't a Republican or Democrat conversation. Trump used to be a Democrat. He used to say he was a Democrat because that's what was going to get him money and attention. We are going after somebody who's a narcissistic toddler that doesn't know how to talk, doesn't know how to lead, and wants to deport anybody who doesn't like what he thinks. He doesn't even know the difference between his wife and another woman. Like, there's an interview. So you think him or the people he hires are going to know who's actually an immigrant and who's here illegally? He actually said that, the left lunatics, they think the worst thing that could happen is that somebody who's not an illegal immigrant gets deported. Yes, that's one of the worst things that could happen because you have no integrity in any of the policy that you would be trying to run. So that is the most pressing thing on America right now. There's plenty of things worldwide, but all of those things will impact based on our leader. And not to say that America is the most important, but that is the most pressing thing for America right now. And then what was your second question? Was my views accurately represented? More so than ever. I've never gone to a rally because I never felt like my views. I've never said that I'm with a specific party. I like candidates and look at what they align with. And everything that Kamala Harris said, all the representatives, minus I will say Tammy Baldwin has done a lot of things and done really great. She didn't mention the Dairy Pride Act. but I'm an animal rights activist and I'm against any animals being, any mothers being abused. But yes, otherwise, all of my views were accurately expressed. It was an incredible, like, club atmosphere, energy. Probably better than almost any club I've ever been to. Met people in my section. It was the best time ever.
Anyways, I really enjoyed the rally. This was my first rally, so I learned tremendously. I saw a lot of things. It was very interesting and intriguing. Unfortunately, I'm not eligible for the vote, so this is entirely for the sake of the learning itself. But yeah, if you have any ideas or opinions to present, please share them in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.